I see peace all around. I hear peace all around. I prophesy peace all around. I declare peace all around. All around I see peace. All around I see peace. In Nigeria I see peace. All around I see peace. Mori àlàáfíà káàkiri. Mo gbọ́ àlàáfíà káàkiri. Mo sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ àlàáfíà káàkiri.
Hello there and welcome to the Wodi Women Talk Show. Wodi aims to educate and shed light on societal and moral ills in order to bring us to a place of peace and reconciliation. And today on the show we have colorful and distinguished guests. I'll start with Mr. Okafor. He is the Abuja coordinator for the Young African Leaders Initiative. Mr. Okafor, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And then of course I have Moyo, my calm but I'm sure very intelligent coordinator-elect for YALI, the Youth Young African Leaders Initiative. So you're welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Nomination. Congratulations. I also have Mr. Augustine Enakwe. Mr. Augustine is a peace builder and a chartered mediator and conciliator. You're all welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And of course, it will be inappropriate to continue without acknowledging our executive producer, Her Excellency Norma Nkechi Rocha, PhD. And as we all know, today's show is to commemorate the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. And this year's theme is Unite. So we're going to be talking about different topics. You're laughing, yes, we're all united, I mean, yes. Women being the bedrock of the home, need to be safe, need to be sound. And so we're going to be talking about different topics in light of this year's theme, Unite. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Okafor. What can be done, really, to sensitize the society against gender-based violence? In your opinion, what can be done?
Okay, thank you so much. In my opinion, I have seen a lot of sensitization programs going on. It has not yet done justice to, at least to a minimal aspect of the whole thing. Even as I stayed for instance yesterday, I still saw the news of people who battered their wives to death and all that. It's still going on. But first of all, I just want to appreciate the social media because this has been a daily occurrence. Back then when there was no internet and nobody knows about it, the woman would die the next street. They might not know. It might take you like a week before you know because we are living around that circle. So imagine something happening in Kenya just today before even I got to know about it because of the social media. So it's why we should increase or find a way to engage men more. Now there is something I spotted as actually a problem, which is the issue of trying to educate the female child alone. Give opportunities more to the female child and ensure that the female child are equal to that of the male child. Let me tell you the truth. When all female child are actually educated, have orientations, are trained, become lawyers, doctors, and the male child don't have the same equal opportunities like the female child, who will the female child get married to? I asked this question the last time I was here. Who will they get married to? They will still fall back in the hands of this, how will I put them? Uncultured, yes, unprepared male child, who by nature of a man, will have this ego in us. A man feels threatened when things are done by his wife alone and he doesn't have a say to it. You come home and your cushion is changed, your plasma TV is changed, by your wife who feels it's not good and she throws it away and buys a new one. It's a good thing, you know, anybody should be happy. But the man will feel threatened. Like, in my own house, I don't have a say anymore. You do this to me, you don't tell me about it. This is for real. how a man would feel, except he's carried along. He wants to feel like he's in charge. I have an uncle who, my auntie built a house, not my uncle child, it's my in-law. My auntie built 2 houses, he was giving all the papers. Let me tell you the truth. That man makes more noise than the owner of the house. And that settles it. That's why their marriage don't have a problem. He can decide who enters the compound. And the wife had to try to take him to the room and beg him. You see him shouting, no way! They will beg him. This is not the owner. This is even not the house. They just built the house and the woman had a good business. Now, these are some of the things that made most men feel threatened, like I say. So, in essence, we should see how we could balance it. While we are building institutions, building orientation camps, building small groups or small outlets for female child to be brought up and be taught, so we should do that for male child too. But male child should be given more consideration. Why am I saying so? So we don't end up having touts. We don't end up having street urchins becoming husband to a doctor. Because some of these ladies, out of love, can pick a guy from the street, turn his life around, thinking she'll be happy, she'll be settled. But one day, like the one I saw on the news yesterday, the man actually killed the wife because he wants to take the house to do it. He thought he could do it cleanly, but somebody caught him. Somebody found that he was the one that did it. Now, this is the ripple effect of working on only the female child and leaving the male child aside. So let it be a balance. When possible, allow it to have a little bit of increase. Let the male child all have something doing. Let them be engaged. Imagine leaving a man who's idle, has nothing doing, has no job, to marry a female who is actually working, she's changing her society. She comes home to rest. You meet a man that nags, even men nags too. He will nag you to death. He can trouble your life because he doesn't have orientation. So, for me, first of all, we might not be able to do anything to this generation anymore. We'll do little. But in the next generation, let's start now, get them early. Let's start educating them. From when a boy child is 6 to 7 years old, he should be taught that hitting a lady is bad. I've seen it works. So he knows. I've seen a little child, the sister was just molesting him, beating him. I was like, why did you beat her? So the mom said, it's bad to beat a lady. I was like, wow, this is good. So they can actually learn that from the child. So I think we can start from this angle too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Okafor. Moyo.
Yeah. I would like to pick it up from there. Okay. And one thing we should understand, this is one of the avenues that we can improve on it. We keep talking. I usually say that advocacy is never too much. And one of the mantra of the SDGs is that we should leave no one behind. So when we're talking about how do we sensitize, what can we do, we should continue to ensure that there is equal message to everyone. And everyone is also involved in the process of ending this and fighting it. So it's not just about a woman fighting for women to be liberated, but for a man to fight for equal access, equal opportunity for both male and female. You know, I was saying that I've seen it happen to a female and I've seen it happen to male. I'm actually an advocate. I've spoken to lots of women. I read something yesterday where a friend showed on the status where they were advocating of sensitizing young girls in school, and the note said, if the perpetrator is my principal, how do I handle this? So you're talking about this. The first socialization agent for a child should be your family. But in a situation where the family is not even strong enough, or the value, you're losing that value. For me, I have 2 boys, and I'm trying to see how they can be as open, because you know, as a female raising 2 boys, you're trying, how do I understand this and things like that. But we as parents and in our own should start from there as the first agents of socialization to ensure that they are able to open up. You're talking about raising and telling a child, do this, do that. Family is not just an agent of socialization alone. We also have cogent role to play when it comes to national development. If you don't raise your children properly from home, then you're training adults that are not properly prepared for the future out there. And that's what we should do. Also for civil society, for individuals, religion institutions, we should not shy away from talking about this. They do happen. Make your place safe space for people to talk to. And as an individual, I've seen women confide in me and say, Auntie Moyo, I don't know. What will I do? There was even a time I threatened to arrest someone's husband. I said, Leave my husband alone. Oh. This is the same man that beat her with a child strap at her back.
Wow.
And you could see all bruises and everything. She could not even sleep in the house. She slept in my home. And I'm like, can you arrest this one? But they will still go, come back, because they feel safe to confide in you. So we also should make other people feel safe when they're going through things. It's a whole lot of process. It's not one day you say, stop, leave the man and it will happen. Nothing happens. So what we keep doing is to talk more about it. Organize programs like this, sensitize the younger generation, like he has said, and also make the world safe to let the other person feel loved. That if I'm going through trials and tribulations, sometimes we feel it's shameful until you tell someone and they say, oh, don't worry, you're not alone. Then they start gaining the confidence to talk, and they start reasoning. Because if you see people who are victimized, they don't even understand the way forward. They don't even know the next direction. They are just confused. I've seen a woman said, I am lucky that my husband married me. And this is a man that she gave birth. The child was barely 7 days old. There was no food at home. There was nothing. And he said, yes, I'm happy you're grateful that your husband married. But you should also know that your husband is lucky to have you in his life.
Absolutely.
Until both of you appreciate each other, then you would also see your value. What happens to women who are victimized is that they don't even know their self-worth anymore. So we should give them that safe space to speak, and gradually they will find solutions. I've seen women, it took me 2-3 years to get one out of the marriage. No fight, nothing. I just said, please, if you want to live for your children, I think that was the magic that happened eventually. I said, you're staying here for your children. But if you want to stay alive for your children, you have to leave. When the man beats you, burn your clothes, make her naked, open her naked, so much. Even men on the street started fighting for the woman. And that is one thing. We should also have a community where people can say enough is enough. When we see people or we see someone going through this, Nigerians, we are really beautiful. Growing up, if so much we call in the gutter, you see people come around and take care of you. The culture is gradually fading away. But we can call it back. So this is one way I feel, or a couple of ways I feel we can actually address this issue. Keep talking more, raise greater generation, both boys and girls. I don't want to stand on it, a male or female thing, because I've seen it happen to both. Thank you.
Thank you, Moyo. And then bringing it home to Bodi. Bodi meaning the Women of Divine Destiny Initiative. We usually hold outreaches and sensitization programs to reach out to, endangered victims of gender-based violence. And we at Bodi here know that it's not easy for both the male and women folk alike, but we reach out to women who have been victims, who have been cast out on the streets, and we've also provided shelter and the provision for such victims. Bodi cares. Have that at the back of your mind. Now, coming back to you, Moyo, yeah, I love what you said the last part. It's a communal thing.
Yeah.
We shouldn't leave it to an institution or an organization. We should always bring it home to our little space. Yeah. Now, I have a question for you, Moyo. What role do you think culture and religion has had to play in enabling gender-based violence, bringing it home to Nigeria?
I'll bring it home to Nigeria and also to Africa. In the space of my work, I support up to 17 countries, both Africa and Asia. So there are some of these experiences that we see, and it's quite unique to us as Africans, especially for a girl child. So you enter a space and you have an opinion because you're a girl child. You should be quiet. You enter a space because you're a girl child, you should kind of see if somebody is accepting your own opinion, whether it's right or not, before you can even say it. And this is how we are raised. When he was talking about, male putting more effort in it, it was because people saw those gaps initially. Yeah. And now we were providing solutions that is now causing another issue that we should address. Raise both male and female. But when it comes to how a girl child is being raised, because when you raise a child, a girl, they're going to become a woman. You're asked to be this, you're raised for a home. An average Nigerian girl is raised because they want you to be good for a man, not because they want you to be good for yourself.
Absolutely.
So it gets to a level where you should be making certain decisions, and people are wondering, you're done from school, the next thing is marriage.
What's next?
Well, someone has something they really want to do.
Yeah.
As a child, a boy child has the right, a male has the right to education. A female has equal right to education.
Absolutely.
As a female have right to life, a male have right to life. So when it comes to these cultural values, I feel we're gradually outgrowing it. In the city, I said that.
In the city.
In the city. So as a lady, you have comfortable outfits that you're putting on, but the culture dictates that you should sit properly. You should, like, your everyday life is caged. They say it's like there's this manual as a girl you have to see. This is this. I wake up in the morning, I cook, I do this, I do that. And then you grow to become a woman. And you run your own. That don't make you successful. If there is issue at home, you're a failure. Even if you're doing well in career, that doesn't count. Because you have to satisfy your man. If that man is also not satisfying you, it doesn't count. Because you are the cause why that man is not satisfying you. I've seen this play out, and sometimes I wonder, when will a woman ever be free and live for herself? I wrote a poem last week talking about that we're educated women and we're strong women.
Also, she's a poet as well.
That you're strong, you're brave, you're courageous, and you're a strong woman. I say this because I know we pile a lot of things together as women. So for me, I'm saying this not because of my background. I'm from a very civilized home. I've seen my dad, he would do the house chores, and my mom will help. It was that civil and liberal for us at home. But I've also seen family where your younger brother will be in the sitting room, the older sister will be in the kitchen, because your place as a woman is in the kitchen. Then some serve the man. So I feel we should address all those things. If you give room for your girl to grow. Now my parents are proud of me, and anything I become, I'm always putting it on my status. I'm grateful for family and for people. I'm blessed with people. But if you also don't, we admire them, we admire what's this person's name? Michelle Obama. We admire Michelle Obama, we admire Oprah Winfrey, and we're looking at, oh, these are women that want my children. Even our own Okonjo-Iweala, we admire them.
Love them.
But if someone or family or the husband didn't make that sacrifice, it's not enough to be able to manage all those things. There will always be that. But there's a system, either as family, as husband, as institution, creating and helping them to make that balance. So if you also want your child to grow to that level, create that balance. So culture is good because it dictates our way of living, it gives us those values, and I appreciate it. But we should not use it to kind of limit what a child or a girl can become. So for me, I think we should address it. And when we talk about religion, Marx said that religion is an instrument of oppression. That's Karl Marx. Said, yes, it's an instrument of oppression. It's not because we are ignorant, but because we reference, you'll see a woman reference the pastor more than even the husband at home. I've seen stories where a woman, the husband bought a car for her and used the same car as gifts or offering or something like that.
Whoa. I'm
not saying don't respect your fathers in the Lord. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying when you're serving God, that moment you give your life to that supreme human being, it's between you and the supreme human being. That's God. Jesus Christ for the Christian, and for the Muslims they have the Prophet Muhammad and other religions, yes. But I'm saying that relationship is between you. So don't wake up and say, because the Bible says that a woman should be submissive. You know, the pastor said that if a woman wants to be submissive, who are you submissive to? Be a man that has sense or a man that has the no sense. If you're submitting to a man that has the no sense, even you're relegating what God has given to you as a woman. So we should checkmate all this. They are there to guide us. I love when we have rules and regulations, because the society that doesn't have rules and regulations will have chaos.
Absolutely.
But you as an individual, God has given you the opportunity. He said, I bring to you life and death. You have to choose one. God didn't even impose on you. This is God that created you. So as a human being, because He has given you that ability to choose. So as a male and a female, we have the ability to choose. So culture and religion should not take that away from us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, what do you think? Civil society, the likes of us, Woody, what do you think we can do to mitigate and also get justice for women who have been victims of gender-based violence?
Do what you're doing now. Anyway, thank you very much for that question. But for me, I think everything should first center on education. Education, sensitization should be captured also under education.
Absolutely.
Education. We should not get tired of it. But again, when you are carrying out the education sensitization programs, there should be also action or in place to checkmate some of those things. You know, for a country like Nigeria, I think these things are just going unchecked because the institutions are not properly strengthened to carry out their task. There are institutions created to deal with not victims, now perpetrators of this domestic violence. But what are they doing? There are cases you bring. Tonia has been in this relationship for years. She has been beaten often and on, and just recently called and said, he has done it again, so where are you? That place is noisy. I'm close to the police station. Did you report? Yes, I reported. What did they say? They say I should just go to NAPTI. Now, the police station, she has run into this institution, she has run into this body to report, and you have seen her with injuries. Now, the first thing for you to do is not referring that woman again to the appropriate institution. Yes, NAPTIP is the appropriate body to carry out what do we call it now? To punish the perpetrator of this melt out justice. But again, you as a law enforcement agency, have you asked yourself, is there no possibility that this woman was driven out of the house without even her purse? Is there no possibility that this woman is helpless in the state? Now, what I just know is that in every condition, in every violence in Nigeria, I think women suffer a greater brunt of the pain. Women and children. Why am I saying it? These people are just at a disadvantaged end. That even people will listen to are people that will tell us their position is in the other room. That even people will listen to are people that will tell us that women are lesser vessels. That even people will listen to are ministers that are psychologically male chauvinists and suppresses the right or the position of the women. What are we seeing? I think civil society organization, the campaign should not just, I'm not talking about ordinary sensitization, I mean heavy campaign. And people should be funded to carry out this campaign and education. Exactly. The education should go right from the family, parents should be involved. This is not, I'm the executive director of Peace Building and Green Environmental Initiative. There is something, there is a habit or a tradition that we usually have when executing projects. You want to go to IDPs to carry out intervention for women living in IDPs. You sit down in your office and plan the program, then go to the IDPs. Women, we are teaching you how to make pastries. No, it is time to bring them into the planning phase. They should be involved in the planning. Parents should be involved in that education because, like you said, training of the girl child or even the boys begin right from the family. Like Mother Teresa of Calcutta will say, peace and war begin from the family. if you want peace in the society, it starts from the family. If you want war in the society, check the family, the background that that person is coming from. So I think parents should be educated. Those at the helm of affairs should be educated. Civil society organizations should carry out media campaigns like this. People should be educated. I think education sensitization is the way to go about it.
Alright, thank you so much, Mr. Nakwe. Your nuggets are very, very salient. Salient in the sense that it draws our attention home to the fact that education and its importance cannot be overemphasized. We need to keep educating, we need to keep shedding light, we need to keep sensitizing. We must not stop. We must have government give us support and funding to educate the family units, educate people in the workplace, all the importance and dangers, in fact, of fostering danger-based violence. And so now we'll go on a short break and we'll be right back.
Allah has given us something that is we can. A woman is supposed to be a binder. The woman is supposed to be a purifier. He, the woman, the most good part of the joy. And Master said, women should be carried along. And when I say women, all classes. Without the woman, you cannot be fruitful. You cannot multiply. It's a refined product. It's a refined product.
Welcome back. Still on the topic for the elimination of violence against women, and this year's theme for the UN Women is Unite. And I'm coming back to Mr. Okafor. Yeah, there's a culture. Yeah, our culture in Nigeria. If you look at it, we have similar cultures. If you want to be honest, there's a similarity. Our cultural values and norms are intertwined. What role do you think marriage has played, and the institution of marriage itself, and our culture that backs the rules of the nuptial system in Nigeria? What role do you think it has played in enabling gender-based violence? And do you really think marriage is a blessing or a curse? Because we have rising cases of death and violence in marriages.
Right, thank you so much. For me, our culture is a very beautiful thing. I'm not saying that I'm a cultural and traditional person to say, but I think our culture forms a better part of who we are, gives us that unique identity of where we are from and who we are. That doesn't mean that our culture does not support gender equality. Yes, to an extent, our culture played a challenging role in trying to balance the norm. As well as, like you rightly said, like Hamas also mentioned religion to be the opium of the society. We had to deal with these two, the culture and religion. We have to find a way to see how we balance it. But back in the days, we discovered that our culture forms the greater part of our religion. Until it got to a point that we became confused by some set of persons who believe this we practice is not the norm, and they brought in something who actually made us. Now that's why we are having this divide. And there's been this confusion of, some people will tell you the culture says, some will tell you my religion says, and it's why we've been going back and forth. We've not come to establish something. The people that brought us this religion started this as a culture in their place, but it was their culture that imposed on us as religion to an extent. Now, this culture of theirs, which they brought as religion, has been reviewed. There are some laws that have been worked upon, and there have been some amalgamation of other laws. As time goes on, you see that these laws are taking a higher advanced nature. There was a time in our own culture where we had to sacrifice humans. But now, and I know there are some other places where it still happens, but there are some other religions, because I know of my own place, where there's this worship of pythons. And it got to a point where we had to review. We had to review. Not like it's still not there, but we had to review our local government headquarters. If you go there, there's a statue of a python. But there was a review over time that we've been having this issue and this issue. Don't we think as society, came collectively, that this is the cause? Let's take away this python and bring in an eagle, a bird, like for peace. So we've not been given this opportunity to evolve over time. And someone brought in another thing to confuse us. So when you are speaking, for me to make you see the reasons why we should adopt this, you'll be seeing her like the devil because she's bringing a strange culture into your culture. But if you are seeing her as your person, you could understand where she's speaking from. And that is where the problem lies, where we've still not been able to strike a balance between gender-based violence. Because someone who is telling you it is wrong to hit a woman is not from your place or doesn't practice your culture. He brought a sane idea, but because he is not your own, because where he's coming from seems to be against your own, you don't want to listen. This is just the whole challenge. And that is why when they came up with gender-based violence, feminism evolved through us. Now, as a result, we've seen what feminism has cost. I am sorry to state it out. I am not a strong supporter of feminism. Yeah, I was once there. Like I said, I was once there. But I have seen what it has literally done to a lot of young ladies out there. It has turned them to a loner. Some of them are in their 40s and no single man in their life. Because they're listening to literally one set of persons who guided them along the wrong path. There is a particular model, she's also my role model when it comes to writing in this country or globally. We all know. She championed this cause for some time. Lo and behold, she's happy about it. Kids are doing well. And when a lot of young ladies found out, it was really hurting. Oh, you've been hiding your home. You've been doing well. And you led us to this direction. You see why I said it is not about the message itself, but who is bringing this message on? Who is preaching this message? So most times when the message is being brought to you, do your own personal research. Find out why this thing evolved. Yes, I understand the emotions that beclouded the feminism is ladies who have been abused, or their mother, watch their mother being abused by their father because they hate their father. Look at like 90% of those who are passionate about feminism. You will see a story. A story that they know the society will not help them fight. So the word feminism helps them to fight that story. To bring back that emotion. As a result, you are breeding young ladies to start challenging the male folks. Watch. There is supposed to be like an equal right, or okay, an equal norm, where if a lady gets this job, a male child gets this job. If a male child gets this job, don't tell me because I'm a female child I cannot get this job. That's the balance we are trying to strike. But people misinterpreted this. And like, who are they? I don't need a male to survive. I don't need a man to survive. You see them, men are scum and all that, all those things. Now, these are people who have another emotional problems. Bring it into the fold. And we sit behind our cameras and try to tell them it's correct. It's like, yes, we know. And that's why I said, until we go back, take this male child and start working on them. As you work on the female child through feminism, also teach them how to run their mouths. Yes. No, that's true. No, that's true. Teach them that too. Now, the thing is simple. When two male are having conversation and it gets heated, the two male folks knows that if they keep running their mouths, it will boomerang to something else. You have a friend there who knows that if this continues, it will become something violent. And someone has to move you out of that. It's a common sense. It's not because she's a female that she should close her mouth. Please don't get me wrong. We didn't say because she's a female she shouldn't talk. You have to express yourself.
Point noted.
Yes. Express yourself as a woman and leave it at that. But trust me, some of them, because they are already under the umbrella of something, they believe we need to teach him, let him know who we are, the stuff we are made of. And they can talk from now till tomorrow, non-stop. And such kind of thing, when somebody dances on you for some time, you know how it feels like. And as a result, you keep him, you push him away from the house. You made him stay outside. He doesn't want to come home. As a result, he starts meeting the wrong set of people who will now cancel him. And I say, forget, I have such case as well here. Forget about this woman. And before you know what happened, he starts mingling with the wrong set of persons who will now introduce him to something new. As a result, he turns out to become irresponsible. And your drive will increase because it is what you're actually working towards. Like I said, as a man ticket in that, so easy. If you see every male folks as trying to dominate you, lo and behold, you will end up with the one that will dominate you more than you expected. Why? Because the one that really wants to dominate you because you are a woman, you are making money, you feel all males should bow for you, or all males should equal with all males. You should know the time to be quiet as a woman. Even a male knows when to be quiet. Yeah, as a man, I know when to be quiet. When a woman is talking, I know when to be quiet. What does it mean is, when two people are having conversations, depends on who is highly heated, the other person should. Natural law. The two of you cannot be heated at the same time. Not because you are a woman that you should be quiet. If he is the one who is highly emotional at this point in time, who is aggrieved, just allow him. When he finishes everything you see, there's a way you talk to him that he was wrong, and he will apologize. Same thing as the female to the male. There are times you know that you have to be quiet and allow this guy talk or allow this lady talk. When she finishes, you sit her down. Now, because a man is enraged, he might not see the ability or sense of reasoning will be lost. And that is why there was something Jesus Christ did. I want to give us an example. When the enraged crowd chased a woman to kill her, and she ran to her back, and the crowd was asking, this woman committed, bring her out, let us kill her. He didn't answer them immediately. He first of all shifted their attention, going to the ground to draw something. Their attention was shifted. Now, for them to focus on what he's doing, it means he's trying to calm their nerve first.
Ooh, this is a new perspective.
Yes. He calmed their nerve first. That's the first thing he did. Because once you're trying to know what is in there, you'll be calm because your mind, your focus will be there. When they are nerve, now he was trying to bring back their ability to think. If he had told them straight that if you know you have not committed sin, stone her, they will stone him and stone her. So he applied psychology because that time they are not thinking with their right sense anymore. There's what they call rage. It's already in them. So when they are now their ability to think coming, he now told them that. And already they have already started thinking, what is it drawing? For you to be thinking that, so if I tell you whatever I'm telling you, you will really think about it. If you know you've not committed, be the first to cast the stone. And started thinking, I just did one yesterday. Oh, yeah, I did one last month. And they all started thinking. It's the same thing. So let's not come about, yes, fine. The female has been in the center of this whole thing. But please, let us also learn when not to talk and when to talk, including the male folks. There are times a woman is talking, just be silent. Sometimes it doesn't kill you, it makes her love you the more. That's just the truth.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's sometimes you don't say anything. After everything, she realized that she was at fault. She will come and apologize. But if you keep beating her, no woman will respect a man that beat her. A woman will fear a man that beat her, but never respect you. And such woman can poison you one day and die. Just go away. Because she doesn't respect you. She only lives in fear. That's what it is.
So, Mr. Okafor, in the light of all you've just said, do you think marriage is more of a curse?
Marriage is a blessing, my dear sister. Marriage, I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, that's what I'm saying. Moyo mentioned something earlier. She said, do not submit to somebody who has nothing else there. My dear sister, let me tell you the truth. Before you took that decision, be prepared. That's why you must do your research before saying, yes, I do. Do your research. Like I always tell people, I said, before I picked a wife, I want to have a reflection of that person in my children. So I look at a lady and I'm like, is this what, it's kind of, when she's acting and when she's behaving, I will now view my kids. Do I love them to be like this? But most men are carried away with the physical physique and all that. That's the only thing that rules them. Same as the women too. We are all carried away with other things. If you are not somebody who is carried away, calculate your children, the future first. Think about the future. Do you want have a reflection of your kids in her eyes? Is this the kind of person that will raise my kids? Is this the kind of attitude I want? Forget about if he has money, forget about if he's rich, forget about those things. Think through this first. Not when you go in because of the money to save your family and rid your family from poverty. Then tomorrow you will not come on social media and start telling us, start reporting to us. Every day when you make a decision, you took decision based on the money or based on what you see or the physique. Now you are coming to tell us something different. You should have thought about that before you went in. So this is the sense. I'm not blaming those who have already gone in. They might not have this knowledge. But this is where we should start sensitizing people from. There is a man that will be with a woman and never lay a finger on that woman. That same man, pair with another woman, you see the difference. That's when she was talked about family. Being the first. How did the family bring up this person? What is the idea? And there's one thing I noticed. It's a very sharp theory, and I noticed it's real. Any woman who cannot be under authority, go back and check properly. She has a problem growing up with her father and her brothers. Yeah. Most women who are difficult to live with, just same as men who cannot be with a woman, you have to trace back from the home based on what she said. There are some ladies who all their life they took their decision themselves. They did everything themselves. Their father, their mother was single as a matter of fact. So they never had a father figure or somebody who could tell them do this and don't do this. And when they get married to a husband who should be the head of the house, as they say, I'm telling you what to do, you're like, hey, watch it. Because all my life I never grew up anybody telling me what to do. So you telling me it's new, it's strange to them. It's strange. So that's for me. I think I also use that as a way of, as a guide too. Looked at, okay, how is your relationship with her father, with her brother? Is it cordial? They love themselves. Does she respect them being the elders? If it's 100%, then you don't have a problem as a man. The only problem you will not start looking at is yourself. Like she directly said, is this somebody who can? So for me, I just don't want to wholly stand on the ground that men are the whole evil. Sometimes a woman can turn a man to the evil he is not.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, thank you so much, Mr. Okafor. Moyo,
Yes.
because I have a question for you. Some activists believe that equality and the enforcement of equality between both genders will mitigate, if not curb to a high degree, curb gender-based violence. Do you agree equality would curb gender-based violence?
So when you ask me that, the question is equality, or I'll kind of check equality versus equity.
Thank you very much.
So when we're looking at, okay, are we equal when it comes to this? Do we also have access to the same thing? You know, when we're talking about equity, it means that, okay, you have
Fairness.
yes, even if the resources you have is not the same, they're able to give you something else to give you that lifting so that you're able to achieve the same thing with the other person who have access to more opportunities. But when it comes to if we have equal opportunities for both genders, we've seen situations and societies. Now let's go back to the Western world where we have, at least to an extent compared to our own society here, they have good opportunity for both male and female. And is that curb? No. We were talking about a case that just happened, and we've seen how male and female they've had their fair share. So I would say that what we can really do is to continue to melt. You were talking about the institutions. How strong are the institutions when it comes to melting punishment or ensuring there is something that an organization now is doing? They have a directory of perpetrators of this. I'm trying not to mention the name. Here in Nigeria, we have a directory of. So if you want to know who has done something similar, just Google the name to take it there. You will see what they've done.
Oh, wow.
We are working towards ensuring that we put faces. So it's not just a story that you're hearing now. So if someone knows that if I do this to someone, my name will enter that black book. It will also checkmate how. Do you understand? So for me, it's all been deliberate. I was asking a question about why do we have these limitations as Africans, and someone said we are not deliberate about our development. We need to start being deliberate about our own issues and how we want to address it. I lived with my grandma at the early stage of my life, and she told me stories that if they catch a thief, you know, everybody in the society will know that this person has perpetrated an evil. They will parade you around the community. For some time you'll be alienated until you show remorse and you'll now be accepted back into the... How are we celebrating perpetrators of evil nowadays, and we want it to end?
Question.
How are we saying that whether you're a feminist or not? And you mentioned something really cogent about feminism being a way of escape for women. It's definitely not for bitter women. It's mostly for women to see their value and to be able to hold leaders accountable. But you know, when we go to understand the objective or the vision that is driving something, we end up abusing it.
Absolutely.
So when an average person is saying, no, I am seeing you as my mentor and you're now married, why should a woman not marry? If you choose to, you're fighting for equal opportunity for another woman or for yourself does not stop you from enjoying the blessing that God has given to you as a woman and as an individual. So equal opportunity or equal access will or may not, until we as individuals and as nations take deliberate decisions by one, building strong institutions, two, putting name and faces to these perpetrators of evil, three, also showing that we are not here to celebrate these people. If you've done it, we melt out bright punishment. And you know, when people say you should go to apologize, I've seen someone, you were the one who directed the person to me. Until date, I'm still in touch with the girl. She was telling me a story of how she was raped. And it's not new. But telling me, I could see the fear, the anger in her. And I said, sorry dear, you're not alone. There are lots of other people like you. And she said she couldn't even tell her parents.
Oh dear.
This is like 3-4 years down the line. The parents still back home don't know what the girl had gone through. So we should continue to make people feel safe to speak. I said one day I want you to sit down and tell people I'm a survivor. But it's a long process. I'm not expecting it to happen now. But that is how we're able to do it. So sometimes opportunity is not only what you have, but how we ensure that people have the courage to speak out, and how we as society are deliberate about ensuring that we want to solve this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Moyo. We said so much, we said a lot. I'd love to go on and on, but we would like to round off with Mr. Nnakwe, and then just, you know, bring it all home and just wrap it up. Now, I have a final question for you, right? The UN Women's theme for this year is Unite, right? And to actually, the major agenda to facilitate this theme is 16 days of activism, you know, against gender-based violence. Now, in our own little space, even here at WODI, in your little space at home, what do you think can be done in our little cubicles and corners to curb gender-based violence?
Okay, thank you very much. I think this is again connecting us back to what we have been saying all the while, and I'm very happy that all the questions are interconnected and the progression of the questions are really bringing out the point clearer and clearer. So for those who will say, why all this is what WODI is already doing. This whole structure is sitting under the roof and chairmanship of a woman who is not just, you know, one mistake that we make is, let's keep fighting, let's go belong to this bloc. I'm not talking about feminism, any bloc women can belong to. Let's go keep fighting, and once you don't need those fights to prove your point. you need to stand and prove your value to be able to make yourself relevant. You don't dwell in fighting and antagonizing people as a woman before you know your worth and your value. Somebody who is here would have relaxed in that self-pity and fight of perpetrators of some of these things. But she came out, proved her value, and we are sitting under the roof, under the chairmanship of Madam Nneoma Okorocha, to discuss this. I think in our own little space we have started doing this. 16 days. In fact, I entered there and I smiled. Part of what they are saying, part of the color, I'm already sitting on it, orange color.
True.
Yes. And this is what Woody is already doing, and this is what we are all encouraged also to do. But please, let me clarify a point that was raised before I try to, I'm already wrapping up. Let's not be like the politician that will say finally and at the beginning of the speech. So, the point is, when we talk about gender equality, please, it is not making the male sex equal to the female sex or gender, making them, we are different and distinct in our different sexualities and sexual orientations. But what gender equality is emphasizing is that each person is given a level playing ground. We can go for the sake of emphasis, cross-check this or fact-check this, is that we are given a level playing ground to operate irrespective of your sex, irrespective of even your sexual orientation. That I am a man or I'm a woman, a platform should be given. If it is for political operations, a platform should be given. If it's for religion, some people will give you the talk that Jesus Christ only had 12 apostles, so why do we bring, and all of them are male, why do we bring women into the folk of God to become a minister? People bring opportunities like this. People tell you that in the chronology of leaders in Nigeria, we've not had a woman. Some people, that is why they look out. If any woman enters a position of authority, they start looking out for flaws. Okay, let her falter, then we talk. Oh, we have gotten, we just caught somebody who stole money, and this is a woman doing this, and they put a face and they overblow it. So what I'm saying in essence is this: let there be even playing field, and you will see that women can actually do exploits. Women, secondly, don't dwell in self-pity. You will see that you will make exploits. In fact, people should be included, men and women alike. Let it not be a self-pity that will include women and will think as women that, oh, these people are doing us service. No, it's actually disservice. They shouldn't be going that way. Women are ordinarily to be included as well as men. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anakwe. And darling, we've come to the end of today's show. I'd like to appreciate all my guests for coming. Thank you for showing up, honoring our invitation. And it would be inappropriate to round off without acknowledging the administrative and technical team of the Woody Women Talk Show. You made all of this possible, and I appreciate you all. And for you at home, thank you for staying up to this point. Until next time, I remain your amiable and lovely host, Vede Atabo. Have a good day and take care.
I hear peace all around. I prophesy peace all around. I declare peace all around. All around I see peace. All around I see peace. In Nigeria.